All right, we're kind of done talking. Should we begin? Let's begin. Rock. The Rock. We talked a little bit about some of the brews that we played before. If you missed out, YouTube, sorry. Twitch got to hear about that. Come join us live for those little tidbits. But we're going to be playing The Rock. YouTube liked it, I liked it, and Twitch did like it. So we're going to do that. What is The Rock? Rock is black-green, and it's basically turning creatures sideways, and it's just cutting red from Jund. Just like Rakdos mid-range is cutting green from Jund, we're just doing the other side. Don't worry, Twitch, we'll be playing some Red Prison later tonight. This list interacts in very fair ways with Fatal Pushes, Inquisitions, and Thought Seizes. Just some typical discard and killing things that we can do. The mana curve is generally small and low to the ground, so we can play some Dark Confidants. We have Hexdrinker here, and we've got good old Tarmogoyf. As long as Tarmogoyf can be played in Magic, it's probably good enough. The day that this card is not good anymore, we're in trouble. That being said, we've got that good Tarmogoyf here, Scavenging News, and we've got a Grimflayer in here. So we've got really kind of the quintessential 2-drops that you do see in the green and black colors. Now we have Fatal Pushes. The other ways we interact with is Abrupt Decays and Assassin's Trophies. Definitely a 2-2 split seems very nice. Now we get to the part of the list that kind of interested me and put it a little bit above some of the others, not to mention that was also a recent 5-0. So we have Liliana the Veil. That's pretty typical. You've got the pretty standard, this is what a 3-mana Planeswalker should do, and that is Liliana. But we've got Murderous Rider here, so that's pretty cool. Got a creature, but you can also do some of the destroying. Murder is a card we talked about in the pre-events, and so Murderous Rider fits that just nice. And the fact that you get that creature is super, super nice. Tireless Tracker is considered one of the best cards to help in the long game when we're playing through, so we've got that. And then the top end here is kind of cool. Haven't seen Questing Beast or the Vraska in a while. Questing Beast has everything, just wait for us to mess up during the entire league. But basically hits everything, punches everything, doesn't get blocked by everything, and doesn't get prevented by anything. Vigilance, Death Touch, and Haste, and all that good stuff. Vraska is an interesting one here to help us destroy some maybe key things, but also long game again, along with Tireless Tracker, gain some cards. Sideboard. Sideboard's got quite a few little one-ofs here, and it's going to be interesting because of the one-ofs. We'll see how well we play. We've got a set of Ashioks. That's probably the main thing to look at in Veils. We have something for Mill. We have something for Tron or Field decks. Lithoform and Blight is kind of a cool one here. We have a random Collector's Brutality. That's probably for Prowess. We have something to kill some stuff, so creature decks. We have a Legion's End. So this one's kind of fun. Exile target creature an opponent controls convert mana cost 2 or less. And all of the creatures that player controls with the same name as that creature. Then they reveal their hand and exile the card's name from their hand and graveyard. So you can really snag some stuff. Extra Assassin's Trophies here and a Shadow Spear. Not to mention a Choke and a Liliana Last Hope. We just have just everything. Let's go ahead and play some Rock here in Modern. Let's see what all you are saying. I hope I have event tickets. Oh, we do. We always do. Dwayne Johnson, happy Honda days. That's the list with Cloithus. Had that work out in the Standard League. Oh, someone else. Guess what? Deathless, yes. Don't touch Delvers. Uh-oh. We have a Delver battle in the chat. 10 tickets, solid. I'm having the time of my life in a league. Just equipped a blighting agent with a sword of fire and ice. Can I join your league? Can I join your league? Let's see how we do here. We're going to see how we go here tonight as well. The back is feeling a bit better, but we got to be careful not to overstrain ourselves. Leagues tonight should be this one, The Rock, followed by probably Red Prism. All right, we hit 2 4-drops here and 1 land. Probably worth the mulligan here. No way to really interact with my opponent. We have plenty of creatures, so too much of do nothing here. I think we're going to mulligan. All right, this next hand's looking a lot better here. Wondering what I should keep and what I should throw away. Only half pay attention. Hey, half pay attention is still nice. Our commentary will hopefully get you some good magic stuff. We're thinking bottom the trophy because we have the Scourge, Liliana, and we have the Thoughtseize. It's probably reasonable. We probably want to stay at 3 lands, and even if we get the 4th land, we definitely want that in case we top deck a Questing Beast. I'm definitely not opposed to doing that. It is our interaction, but Thoughtseize isn't bad, not to mention we have Liliana. My opponent has mulligan to 5 as well. Maybe a land because we're on the draw? Perhaps. Perhaps a land would have made sense. We'll see, though. They've kept 5. We're going to steal something. Tron? Really? Where's my Assassin's Trophy? Oh, that's right. It's on the bottom. Oh, nice land. Well, let's go ahead and steal something. Maybe Sylvan Scrying or something. Alright. Ancient Stirrings, Karn Liberated, and Thought Not Seer. Huh. I'm kind of tempted to take the Ancient Stirrings. Karn Liberate is just going to happen if they get Tron. Scourge isn't coming down immediately anytime soon, which is a bit of a disappointment. I could also take like Thought Not Seer or Karn Liberated. I just think Ancient Stirrings has the best chance of finding them Tron if they find like a sphere or a star. If you spam Hydrate, I'm going to disable the Hydrate command. I think it's Stirrings here. You can see what I'm saying with the Thought Not Seer. They're going to be able to cast that sooner. This isn't happening anytime soon. But like if they do get that star or something, we're just in a weird, kind of a weird position. All right, looks like I get to, I'll fetch Shock here to help our life total for this in the future. We'll pump up Hexdrinker and pass turn. Not a bad turn for us. I'd like to play Peatland next and Liliana. Opponent misses. Gonna get 12 game wins tonight? I sort of like the Tireless Tracker here. I also know that this might not be a bad idea because it kind of like doubles down. Let's go ahead and play the Tireless Tracker here. This way I get to do Scourge and get a land to draw. And I think Scourge coming down next turn's completely fine because it will help double the damage that we've got going on. So Tireless Tracker, we can go ahead and, let's go ahead and draw first. Didn't hit anything of use. Let's go ahead and cast Scourge here. Attack for 6. We're using our Peatland as much as possible so it grows the Scourge. We now have a 7/7 Scourge, 4 and 2/1. Opponent's got a Chromatic Sphere, but we've already got them dead on board if they do anything else here. Looking pretty good for us. Good start, good start. There was definitely a few lines going aggro and putting everything into this so it doesn't die to anything but an Ugin. There's a case for growing the Tireless Tracker here and drawing a card. That way I'm able to play 2-3 things. By doing it this way, I get to play a land here, fetch Shock to make this as big as possible. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that gets pumped into this. I can set it up. We could also put 2 into this and Liliana, and then we can make this bigger. The Scourge is going to be big enough anyway. My opponent stumbles here, and that's why we got there. The Blight comes in for this matchup. I think Assassin's Trophy can also come in. After that, though, is there really much that I want here? Theoretically, I could bring in Ashiok to make it so that they can't search if we got that far. Not sure that's gonna pay often. I think it's probably easily just some fatal pushes out. Maybe all 4 fatal pushes and just bring in the few Ashioks to make it a thing. I could bring in a Blood Chief's Thirst because it could theoretically kill a Planeswalker. 4 mana kill Karn. It's not the worst. I could do like one of those 1 Ashiok here. It's not like Ashiok is going to be the best here, being on the draw. Decay is completely fine. We can kill some stars. We can kill some O-stones. They look to be a little bit Eldrazi with the Thought-Knot Seers, so they could have other things like Mind Stone. They could have Mattery Shapers, just some other things. What's up, Nidia? I kind of like 4 of these out, and I kind of like this. They could have Maze Mind Tome too. I like diversifying a few of my removal pieces, and Blight's kind of just a cute thing that I could actually do to my opponent. So let's go for it. Let's go for it. Well, interesting hand here. Inquisition and Thoughtseize. Don't dislike that. There's the Abrupt Decay I talked about. My opponent mulligans to 6. It's not a very aggressive hand. Is there a collective main? Yeah, we probably could have cut that. It'd be really funny to mulligan and find Blighted. I do like the Inquisition and Thoughtseize, though, quite a bit. I think I'm going to keep this. Something tells me that it would be fine. My opponent's mulligan to 5 as well. They're now mulligan to 4. We could do Thoughtseize into an Abrupt Decay. We could also do Inquisition into Thoughtseize, not play anything. My opponent being at 4 makes me feel pretty good about this. I'll probably lead with Inquisition. Oh, there's a relic. I don't care about that. Maybe I just lead with the Thoughtseize. I don't know. Let's do Inquisition here. See if they have like an Ancient Stirring or something. Nope. Alright, we can wait a few turns before I fire off this Thoughtseize, and I can just Abrupt Decay the Relic for funsies. I could even just play a Scavenging Ooze and start beating my opponent down. It does feel slightly better. It's tough to say. Bleh. Bleh. What are you doing here now, Hexdrinker? You're late to the party. All right, I'm gonna lead with this Hexdrinker here. I'm gonna pump it once. Next turn, I might think about Abrupt Decaying the Relic and then taking Thoughtseize whatever they can trip with this Relic. I'm just gonna eat my graveyard, that's fine. We know they have Forest, so Forest 2 unknowns here. And then if I get to pop the Relic, I get to steal something important, hopefully. Ah, like whatever this is. Whatever this is, I want it. It'll be mine. I could also Scavenging Ooze and Thoughtseize here, if this card's not that threatening. Maybe. Maybe. It's an Expedition map. Guess what I'm hitting with this Abrupt Decay, everyone? Oh, Vraska, what's up? All right, Abrupt Decay, the Expedition map here. I think I'm just gonna pump into Hexdrinker and attack. They pop Relic, they Dismember. Okay, well, you know. Thoughtseize looking a bit weird now. I guess I want a Liliana next. Work her way up to 6. Relic activation, cool. Sanctum. I need to somehow win this game too. It's not like Scavenging Ooze is really doing a lot. I'm gonna play Liliana Uptick on the Thoughtseize for me and try to get this to 6, where I could then split the power plant and the mine. Sorry, the power plant and the tower. I have a Murderous Rider for a like Ugin or a Karn or something, but they've got to find Tron first. Oh. Nice. Pops Relic. Here we go. What'd you find? 8 mana. Oh, Dark Confidant's interesting. All right, up we go. Get rid of Vraska here. They got rid of a Blast Zone. And we'll just Dark Confidant and pass turn. What's this pile? It's the Rock. Extra mine for our opponents. This is really good for us. Draw. Extra cards are always welcome. We'll discard a Burning Catacombs here. Land, play Scoos, attack, and pass turn. I will immediately use this to split Urza's Mine and everything else, probably. I need to dodge this turn. Woo, we dodged. Dark Confidant trigger here. Inquisition's cute. Let's go ahead and see what they have. They have a mine. They have a mine. That's really good to know. Cool. On that case, we're just going to get rid of that mine. You know what? Because I know the mine, I can really play this interestingly now. I think I'm going to go down. I can put mine, and like a tower, and then the other 3. And they're only going to 4. And then I'm attacking for 4. 5, 4. Yeah. This is just winning. This is winning. Just like this. Cool. All right. And then here, I'm gonna go ahead and play my Murderous Rider. This just puts more on the battlefield for us. And we should be able to win in 2 turns here. So they play the mine down, they have a card. Let's assume it's Thought Knot. It's not. But if it was, they could have done crazy things to us. Liliana. Let's go ahead and nail the mine here. Now we killed 3 mines. This is great revenge from the other day. Uptick. Get rid of that last card. Attack for 6 and pass turn. Good luck, opponent. Regular size, Jesse. Thank you for the resub. 10 months. Welcome back. Got some rock. Solid foundation here in match number 1. I feel like we played that well. It's good to play a match well. I know my opponent mulliganed, but I think we made the right decisions every single time. Whew. What a way to kick off the stream. That's what I'm talking about. Getting there. There it is. Look at it. It's right here. It's in place of 1 Dark Confidant. Silly card. Silly card. All right. TP Blaster's our next opponent. Dang. Look at this hand. They didn't mulligan. But dang. I'm going to keep this. I want to just dismantle my opponent. Panic. Panic. All right, let's go ahead and Inquisition. Then we'll look to maybe Thought Seize and all that good stuff. There's a Hardened Scales. Oh my gosh, we need to get rid of that. All right, so get rid of the Hardened Scales because they can cast it, and then I can double Thought Seize them, throw an Arcbound, and just go from there. I could even try to Fatal Push through the Welding Jar, but that's probably just not a good idea. What's up, Foreman Red? Ah, nice. Uncle DB, glad they got there. I'm hoping everything gets there safely. That would be ideal. Am I feeling better? Sort of. Sort of. We're getting there. We're getting there. The back still hurts. We'll see how far we can go today. I'm hoping a double league. We'll see. Rock vs. Hardened Scales. This is 2016. Who knows what day it is? All right. Nice. Good job on the Trinisphere stuff. I guess we'll just Twilight Mire and double black here. Thoughtseize. Steal the scariest things. So what's scary here? Like, Walking Ballista is scary, but not as scary as the other two, right? Or do I just not care about Throne of Geth here and take both creatures? Not complaining, it's kind of nice. It might be just take the two creatures and not worry about the throne. If I take Walking Ballista, my Dark Confidant lives longer. It's a reason to do it this way. And that'll buy us time to find some stuff with this Fatal Push. So let's go ahead and do this. Darksteel, Throne of Geth, and something else. What day is it? It's Friday. Happy Friday. Alright. I got some cool things going on here for my opponent. Now we need them to not draw anything absolutely busted. As long as they don't draw anything super busted, I'll be happy. Would you like to put these on my creature, please? Thank you. I wouldn't mind fielding one of these just to get the graph triggers off of them. I do have double Fatal Push now, so that's looking really good. My opponent misses here with just a forest. Good for us. Let's see what we draw. Dark Confidant, trigger. Woo! Little drinker. Little Hexdrinker. Grafty. Grafty. Let's just pump this up. I'm doing it now here for getting it to the protection from instants because my opponent does sometimes play Dismember. And also, if I have to with the Fatal Push, kill something, I can do it on my turn without much of a problem here. Because I'll double Fatal Push due to the Welding Jar. I love Hexdrinker. This is probably one of my favorite green cards to come out of the set. Super nice. Graph being able to target opponent's creatures is good. It is. Modular, sack artifact, search for reveal, blah, blah, blah. All right. Blah, 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 blah. Make it jumbo, please. Then I won't even have to use field. Yes, jumbo. Add all the count. You didn't do the other one, opponent. Why didn't you do the other one? Oh, another Hexdrinker. All right, well, I'm going to Fatal Push it. And then they're going to be like, nope. And then I'm going to Fatal Push it again. Wee. That's true. You could pump Undying creatures. All right. Oh, what? What happened? Wait. Oh my gosh, I needed Revolt. I needed to use this. It's 3, not 2. Let's not talk about that, shall we? Awkward. For some reason, I saw 2, not 3. We punted from both of us. It was good. It's like a big group hug. Well, I'm not going to attack now. Awkward moments. Awkward. I'll be very honest, I thought it was a 2. I was like, oh, I don't need to use field first. No problems. No problems. Easy mode. Legal does nothing when resolves. Exactly. Exactly. Extra Darksteel Citadel here. Sacking to find a construct. Walking Ballista has been found. You thought it was a 2 as well? Yeah. We all thought it was a 2. Not a Luris player. Yep. Yeah, this game's a bit different if I use the field first. Definitely. Whoops. All right, I think I concede. I just concede in shame scoopingness. Draw a Fatal Push, I can kill this, but then I have to deal with a 7/7 with a Dark Confidant. Those two draws, these two draws. Treetop into Tarmogoyf. Yeah. All right. We both played bad. Sneaky, sneaky. We both played bad. All right, we can beat this opponent. We can beat this opponent. So Legion's End seems okay here. Thirst seems fine. Trophy doesn't seem too bad either. Collective Brutality seems a touch weak in this matchup. The rest of this seems fairly strong. I could maybe take one Questing Beast out here. There's a good chance Questing Beast doesn't do actually a whole lot. Maybe just a Grim Flare since I'm bringing in more removal. Fatal Pushes are removal. Murderous Riders removal. Vraska's, Liliana's can be. Assassins, Abrupt, Legion, Blood Chiefs. I mean, we have lots of removal. We're built for this. We're built for this. I don't know if I want like Plague Engineer. It might make sense over like maybe like a Dark Confidant or like a Scourge. Because Plague Engineer could name Construct, which might make things a little awkward for them. So it's probably worth it. I'm gonna take this over one Thoughtseize. We'll run it like that. Thoughtseize probably doesn't need him. Probably doesn't need to be worried about. This hand's excellent. We'll just keep this. We'll just keep this solid hand here and just end my opponent. Arcbound is a beast. Truth. All right. I feel fine with a Thoughtseize here that I could then Abrupt Decay or do something else after. There's Veil. Oh boy. We have an Ozolith. We have a Hardened Scales. Ravager Walking Ballista. Legion End could get rid of the Arcbound Ravager. Well, no, it can't because they'll just sacrifice. Pick land. The Veil is kind of a problem card in our future. I think I have to take the Veil. I have to just interact with everything else that they can play. Not that Legion's End's gonna really do a whole lot here. Oh, they top deck a Welding Jar. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, I could play two Hexdrinkers here. So they didn't top deck a land, so the most they can play is Animation or Ozolith right now. I think... Adapt, what's going on? Things are going. I think it's two Hexdrinkers here. I think if we're waiting too long in this game, we're going to end up losing. So doing 4 a turn seems good. If they whiff this land, we're in a good shape. If they don't whiff the land, they can start kind of getting things going. All right, Ozolith. Nice. All right, now what are we looking at? I mean, am I just going all in on one of these and just smashing them? I think it is. I don't think it skews. The Abrupt Decay could hit the Harden scales and pump once. I think I need to get a Hexdrinker up to 4 here. Or up to being a 4/4. That way we just don't lose to a Walking Ballista. They take 6 as well, and then I can make this 4 as well. Arcbound. Alright, a little 2/2. Very little fear I have. I'm gonna just put everything in on all of these. We're beaten with snakes today. Let's go. Take 8. Legion's End is pretty nice too. Legion's End gets to exile a card, which will make things hard. And then I have 2 Hexdrinkers at 4/4s. The beauty of Rock, becoming the aggro deck and getting there. Whew. All right. Let's just submit. I do show the hand because I want them to know about that Legions. I want them to fear it. What kind of hand is this? I'm keeping 7. No removal here. Makes me really nervous to keep a hand like this. I need probably some removal. Four lands, Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant's easily picked off. Tarmogoyf's nothing right now. Let's mulligan. Okay. I can keep this. I don't know if I need both Dark Confidants. It's kind of weird because I can't cast the Hexdrinker. But let's go for it. I like to be able to Thought Seize away a threat and start interacting with our opponent. A lot better. Hexdrink, Ozolith, Tribal, when? Who knows when? Alright, Hardened Scales here. This is the leading card. I presume they have more than one land this time around. Welding Jar as well. Smart move to get that out of the hand. Definitely will Thought Seize here. Hey look, we picked up Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant Tribal. Alright. Well, I'll take an Arcbound Ravager. We'll see if we can beat Arcbound Ravager and Arcbound Worker here. They can only play one of those. They do have a Blink Moth. Definitely a Dark Confidant turn, it looks like. Need to find interaction here. I need to find it relatively quickly. We're being rewarded without greed? Maybe. I'm able to play Dark Confidant plus new Hexdrinker here this coming turn. Let's see if that's worth it. Walking Ballista. It's a 2/2, so they can just shoot the Dark Confidant. It was a good top deck. Down to 16. Oh, that was a really good top deck. I think we're dead next turn. I'm gonna play Tarmogoyf, and I'm going to fake that I have a Fatal Push here. I need to fake a Fatal Push here, and the reason for that is because they can play this Worker down, and who knows what else they'll get here. And we may just be very dead. Yeah. I have to block now. Hey, thank you for the sub. Hey, alright. Alright, we're gonna just play creatures out to block with, but like I've kind of said, I think next turn I'm dead. Favorite Magic player, thanks. Thank you. Oh, welcome. Papa Thick. Playing some rock today. I'm gonna follow it up with some probably red prison a bit later. Oh my gosh, we're so dead. They should have done this off of green here, because then they could animate the blink moth and have an invasive creature here to kill with. Get you through work every day. Nice. All right, how big is everything gonna get here? If they don't get anything very big, they can shoot Dark Confidant and Hexdrinker off here. Then we just have a 3/4. I mean, at that point, they might as well just attack with everything. Ozlith is gonna grow the Walking Ballista here. That's 7. To me, I think they should just pick, and then see what happens, but do something like this. It is a nice board. I'm pretty confident our opponent's got this. Deals 1 damage to a creature. Makes sense to me. I don't really have much. If I had like Damnation, maybe. But even then, Hanger Backwalker would make a ton of creatures. Alright. That'll do it. They have the kill next turn. They attack with 10 minimum here. 11, 12. This would be pumped as well to 4. So that's 14 damage here. And then they just ping for a few. If they don't want to do that, they sacrifice this, which is already at 4, maybe even at 6 after next turn. Make 6 extra tokens. This gets to be a 6/6. And then you can sack each of those for 2, putting 12 more on here, attack, and then put it on here as well. Our opponent's got many ways to kill us there. Many ways to kill us. If we would have played correctly in game number 1, we'd probably take that there. If we would have just remembered it was not a 3-drop, or would have remembered it was a 3-drop instead of a 2. Yeah, it's a very strong 1/1. Should be a 2/0, but that's a good way to look at it. Look at it in the positive light that it's a strong 1/1. I like that. We're doing that. It's Friday. We gotta be on the positive notes. Exactly. Who cares about 05s and 50s? No one ever does that at your local F&M. You know that. You get hungry, you need that wing stop. You wander over, you get that, you get your hands all greasy, you wash your hands, you sit down, your stomach's gurgling a little bit, and then you lose your match, and you're like, but man, that's some good wing stop. Delicious. You feel attacked? No, you're just welcomed here. Unless you're the single person that gets 5-0s every time you go to your F&M. In that case, get out and go to your PTQ. We don't need you here with us, the casuals. We're just casuals here. Please leave us casual people alone. Alright, we got a Lurrus deck here. We've got a interactive hand. I think we can keep this. Bad Moon. Exactly. Foreman Red's the expert on Bad Moon. I'm the expert on Tier 25 Garbage Red Prison. We've got some other people in here playing Ninja Phase and other things like that. We're just a crowd of misfits over here. Crowd of misfits. Leave me and my greasy O2 droppy hands alone. Hey, I just said that you would have had that great delicious Wingstop, and that was the true winner. All these 1-3s and these 4-1s that they're just like, oh, I could have been perfect. You're like, I'm fed though. And that's where you got them. They think they had a good time, but you had the best time. All right, Bobble Trigger, all that good stuff. I'm gonna slap down the Dark Confidant here. I have 42 tickets. How could you go wrong with Bad Moon? Wow, we're really going here with this Bobble. I'm gonna do Dark Confidant over the Hexdrinker. Maybe get a removal spell or two here off of some cards that I don't care about. Dark Confidant's a problem card for us because this matchup's gonna be aggressive. It'd be nice maybe to draw once, maybe twice, but I don't want Dark Confidant doing too much damage. Knowing my luck, I'd hit the 4 drops. Bloodstained Mire after lightning bolting our Dark Confidant here. Overgrown Doom. Yeah, we're just gonna say it. Doom. Overgrown Doom. Tarmogoyf. Alright. Inquisition makes this interesting. We can Inquisition, Fatal Push, and the Hexdrinker here. I can also wait for Lurrus to get to hand before I get to Inquisition. Which means I maybe want to Fatal Push this Hexdrinker and pump it once. Maybe I wait on the Hexdrinker and just be super mana efficient here with a Murderous Rider. I did keep Ferd Catacombs, which gives me the Fatal Push option later. Kind of like this. I'm afraid of like Liliana, but I shouldn't be because of Lurrus. So let's Swift end this. Go ahead, opponent. I'm gonna give my opponent every chance to go ahead and put a Lurrus into hand. And we're going to then Inquisition it away. I'd love to Inquisition it and play Murderous Rider. I doubt that they're putting this straight into hand. But they do have 2 baubles, so they might be enticed to do that. Bloodstained Mire. And no follow-up. Well. Looks like a great turn to go ahead and try for a Hexdrinker and something else. I'm actually going to do Hexdrinker and Murderous Rider here. If I pump into this, they're just going to kill it anyway. This gives them the option if they have a Fatal Push the Bloodstained Mire to get this Murderous Rider. I like giving my opponent a few options here. Maybe they'll leave the snake alone. Stomping Ground here and does not shock. And no actions. A little surprised not to see like a Lightning Bolt or even a Fatal Push there on either of these. While their turn, they had mana available to them. Just a bit surprised. Peat Land for our opponent. A Death Shadow. Okay. A little Death Shadow. All right. Like I've said, I'd like to get this Lurrus away from them. My opponent's at 12. I could Inquisition and Hexdrinker and pump this like once or twice and Fatal Push this. Let's go in once on Hexdrinker. My opponent is saving priority right now. Let's go twice here. Let's play new Hexdrinker and Fatal Push, leave it up. Let's go ahead and go to combat here as well. Attack with both. My plan is to Fatal Push. I'm kind of suggesting they can block here if they want to. They do. I don't want their life total to grow too much here. This is on purpose. All right, so they take 2, go to 10. All on purpose. I'm just curious if they felt like they needed to block or not. No interaction again for our opponent. Really starting to wonder what they have in hand. Cycles of Peat Land. Being in the Jund colors, I would expect something. Inquisition's my Inquisition. All right. They have 1 land. 2 lands. Okay. Hexdrinker up to 3 protection from instants and sorceries. Looks good. Let's do it on this side too. Okay, Legions and Blood Chief in. What else? Yes, Slayerfall. Yes, it would have grown. Would have been okay, though. Do I just bring some Veils in because they could Inquisition Thoughtseize me? That doesn't seem totally right. Doesn't seem totally right. What do we think here? I like Legion's End, I like Blood Chiefs. I like both of these cards. These make total sense to me. I like Scavenging News, definitely like Fatal Push. Collective Brutality is looking like a really missed card for this one. This Grim Flare feels a little off too. So I'm thinking these two for these two. Vraska's probably fine. Questing Beast feels fine too. I know you can bring this in for black, but I feel like this is going to be more useful against blue. When we really look at what we have here this coming turn, or this coming game, I mean, we have 15 interactive spells, not to mention 2 things with Death Touch here, and 1 thing that'll probably be the even in terms of size. But even if we look at this is 17 of our 60 cards that can interact well. You like cutting Thoughtseize for Veil? All right, I could see that. Thoughtseize is probably hit or miss a little bit. I could even bring in an Assassin's Trophy here for a Thoughtseize. I could bring in a Plague Engineer, which is a bit interesting, but it's like another Death Touch, which is kind of nice. Being on the draw, I actually like the idea of an Assassin's Trophy over 1 more Thoughtseize, and I'm going to run it. Shadow Spear Scourge combo? Yeah! Oh my gosh, he's a 10-10. Whack. Dead. This hand looks fabulous. We'll keep this. Fabulous. I can't hurt myself, though, but Legion's Ends and Fatal Push seem like the right cards to be playing against our Jund friend. I think of all the decks that I do play from time to time on the stream, for whatever reason, Rock feels just so calming. And I couldn't tell you why. What an Inquisition's us. I think it's calming because it just feels like your decisions on what you do are very much happen immediately, and they have that impact immediately, where like sometimes if you were control, you're like, well, should we counter this, or maybe I hold for another, you know. Even Red Prison, we're trying to like decide, do we rush this out or do we hold 1 turn? I don't know, there's just something like, creature, yes, swing, yes. I think it's the red and Rakdos mid-range that makes me a little more like, where maybe the green is just soothing. Maybe that's it. It's how Richard Garfield intended. They take my legions. They take my legions. I'm going to leave with Blooming Marsh here, but Peatland does give me an option to get this down. Albeit it won't be very big. Opponent Thoughtseizes us. Goodbye, Questing Beast. I presume. They might not like seeing this, though. Questing Beast is gone. Bloodstained Mire, 2. I do like a shock land here. If I make this a 2/2, it would die to a bolt right now. Is that worth it? Yes. Absolutely worth it. You may bolt it if you have the bolt. I don't think they do. Fetch, shock, bolt? Yeah, do it. Do it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm disappointed. They had it. They had it. Now what? Ren in 6. Oh, I'm not so worried about that card. Ren in 6, Bloodstained Mire, 1 card left. That awkward moment when you could play Hexdrinker, but it's not big enough. Well, wait. Go ahead, opponent. That awkward moment. Renin 6 plus Peatland's super nice, by the way. It's a good interaction my opponent's going to get to have. Bloodstained Mire here, Overgrown Tomb, and does not shock him. One card in the hand, draw, and probably another draw with Peatland. Unless something drastic shows up in my hand, like a Questing Beast, it's going to be Hexdrinker and try to get it outside of range of Renin 6 this coming turn. Ideally, my opponent will tap out here to draw with Peatland and do something else. Maybe putting Lurrus in the hand. It appears they don't want to do any of that. Alright, well, I think it's worth the shot here. The more draws my opponent gets, the better chance they have to kill this. They're going to allow me to dump all this mana in here, so it doesn't matter to use Peatland first. Here we go. Do they have an interactive spell? If not, we're looking real good. Does have the Fatal Push. All right. All good. Bound to happen. Fetching with Bloodstained Mire here. Are we going to cantrip that Peatland? I think you should. Yeah, get it done. Nice. All right. We'll probably cantrip our Peatland as well. They're aware of the Fatal Push. Want to hold on to this Verdant Catacombs for Lurrus or something of that caliber. Plays a Death Shadow. I wonder if they have a Veil. That would be rough. Bonus Fatal Push here. Let's go ahead and cantrip Peatland to see what else we've got going on. New Verdant Catacombs. We will shoot the Death Shadow. Cool. Probably should have used the other art. If my opponent's paying attention, then they'll know I still have a Fatal Push. Renin 6 is almost at 7. Not ideal for us because they have Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt, Thoughtseize, and Inquisition in the yard. They can start taking everything anyway. Blood Chiefs off the top would be probably our best draw now. Looking at what we have in the graveyard and seeing the Renin 6 is at 7. I'll be fetching with Verdant Catacombs. Puts Lurrus into hand. Bloodstained Mire. So they're going to be able to play their Death Shadow out of the yard. Wouldn't mind a discard spell now. Castle is not ideal here. Let's go ahead and draw one. Looking for a way to get rid of the Lurrus in hand. That'll do. Take my Thoughtseize. Much better to get it out of the hand than any other way here. So we'll steal Lurrus. And we'll pass turn. Does look a little sketchy that I'm at 10. This Renin 6 goes down, and then they have Lightning Bolt with 2 Peatlands in hand, plus an extra Renin 6. We have 3 turns, probably. What's up, Hazendam? Welcome back. 3 months. What's up? Should this deck even play Scourge with no real way to interact with opponent's life total? There is an assumption that my opponent will probably take damage at some point by us just attacking. We also only play 1. All right, Renin 6 ult here. New Renin 6, and then Bolt, Bolt, Bolt. We'll go to 1. I guess they can only double Bolt, because they had to use some red for Renin 6. Opponent picks up a Bloodstained Mire. Inquisition's my Fatal Push away. I think they should have just went Bolt, Bolt, and then next turn pick up Bolt, Bolt. No, they just tapped wrong. Yeah, it looks like they did. So my opponent hasn't seen a Liliana yet. They played the Peatland down, so we know the hand is Peatlands only. I mean, I suppose I continue to play this out. Liliana down tick here, just see what they want to do, but it really should just be bolt upstairs. Maybe I get lucky and hit Questing Beast and they hit like, I don't know, Bobble. Join the content. What are these? Oh, delivery donut things. Fantastics. Yeah, the 4 red sources. All right, Swift Spears here. Pick up land. Bolt, bolt. Put me to 1 again. What's a parry? If I'm in my opponent's situation here, I pick up whatever land I want and I double bolt. I double bolt and throw this at my face. They can trip with their peat land. I mean, why do this if you're not going to use the lightning bolt? Right? They can trip as well using the red source. Should cantrip with the black source here, even though yes, it's the green. I mean, my opponent's barely played any green cards. This is the green card they have. Lightning bolt pitching peat land on Lily. I think they are playing with their food, but we'll allow them because they're burning time. I go down to 8, it's 8 all. More game actions greater than winning. Like here, things just get super interesting now. I'll go fetch a basic. And now we eat the world with ooze. It's gonna be a tasty world. We're so hungry. So hungry. Go, go, ooze. Eat the world. Now. What are we doing here? Are we abrupt decaying or something? Fatal push. That works too. I'm still going to eat everything. It's going to taste really good. Delicious. Yum. Eat the snake too. Snake tastes great. Eat bolts? Oh, I could have eaten bolt. That's true. I wanted all the food though. It's all good. It's all good. Who needed that bolt? My opponent's forgotten about it anyway. This is the mind games. Opponent doesn't know about that bolt down there. They've forgotten. They could have killed me like 3 turns ago. But yes, eating the bolt was the slightly more correct line there instead of eating our own snake. But hey, snake tastes pretty good, so that was a hard choice. We already talked about eating food earlier. Bolts us. There you go, opponent. You got this. I believe in you. Why didn't I eat bolt? Because I decided the snake tasted better. Snake tasted better. We don't think ahead? Exactly. Who needs to think ahead? Maybe the opponent does think retraces one time. We're also just getting our practice in here. Last time we played this was for Extra Life, so it's been a month. Just something that we like to talk about on the stream about if you want to get good at a deck, don't bounce around like streamers do and focus on one deck. You'll do awesome. You'll do awesome. All right. I think we're pretty well versed here in what we want to be doing. I could take one more thought season because I'm on the play, but I think we're okay. I think we just need to play just a touch smarter here. We'll do so because we learned a few things last time. Besides, this matchup does feel a little bit dependent on who goes first versus who goes second. All right. I do like this hand. I don't like that I have 2 4-drops, but I do like Legion's End as one of my ways to interact with my opponent. I'm gonna go ahead and keep a little light on some of that interaction, but it'll be fine. Feeling good about it. Go ahead, opponent. Some of you might say, hey, shock this in so you can play Scourge. Not gonna do it. Just back up. Back up, everyone. It's not worth it. All right, let's see if we get rewarded here. Off the top, maybe an Inquisition or Thoughtseize. Take a land as well. Land looks pretty good. I think we'll just carry on our way here and not do anything. The idea is I can play Skoos next and eat that bauble. Opponent draws, did not use Wooded Foothills. They might be a little strapped for lands here, using bauble to try to find that land. That'd be really good for us. If that's the case, I might not even rush this out. They do find a swamp. Using Wooded Foothills now. Stomping Ground. They have all 3 colors. And Tarmogoyf. Big Ben. Hey, welcome back. 3 months. How goes it? How goes it? All right. So did I just pop off Legion's End here? Stifle it? What are we stifling? What? I kind of want to just use the Legion's End because something tells me that they could have like another one. I don't want to wait necessarily. Fear of Veil. See what else we're working against. Does this reveal? It does, thank goodness. All right. So we got a Fatal, Dismember, Death Shadow, and K command. Woo! That's a hand. That's a hand. It's a lot of interaction. So my best thing is top deck land, put Vraska down. Like just hang out. Oh, we both know what we're playing against now. Inquisition can take Goyf, Skoos, or Scourge. Wonder if I'm supposed to use Field on one of their lands here just to mess up their mana a little bit. With the Bloodstained Mire, suppose that doesn't matter that much. Although Luris is a bit of a thing they could do with Bauble. I think they take Scavenging Ooze because the Scavenging Ooze could eat the Bauble. So we're going to have to work through all of this removal at some point. All right, so we do find Vraska. Questing Beast gets nailed by this Bloodstained Mire Fatal Push. I don't think I want to do that. I think it's just Vraska here and go, good luck. Good luck. And I don't think I sacrifice here, at least not this turn. Kind of hold with this so that Questing Beast is the thing. If they decide to crack this, then they have to forcibly use the Dismember. Maybe that's really good for them, though. We are family stream. You got it. Swift Spear. Ooh. Sounds like a storm is arising on the horizon, everyone. Welcome, CWS MTG. Playing some rock here. How was your stream this evening? And welcome, everyone. All right, Vraska is down to 5. It's kind of interesting. We can go up, we can go down. If we go down, this becomes 2. K command could kill it. Could just put the Blooming Marsh into play. If I do that, I could just sacrifice it. That's not a bad thing. See what else I draw. See if I find interaction for Swift Spear. Kind of like that. Up we go. Sacrifice the brand new Blooming Marsh. Find another land. Fatal, Death Shadow, Dismember. Well, so I don't know if double creatures is the smartest idea, right, Freedy? So if you put double creatures down, my opponent can fetch and kill one. They don't even have to. They could just dismember one, taking 4, putting them to 13. They can then Fatal Push and fetch Shock, and then they can put Death Shadow down. Now, Vraska could obviously kill that, but is that what we want to do? Do we want them to get close to a Death Shadow here? Pitch the Peatland? I can just convert it by using Vraska in the future. And Peatland is one of the few ways we can interact with our own Scourge. So I don't know if that's right. I don't know. I think it's a pass here. I know that seems weird, but I think it's a pass. They just have a K command in hand that I'm worried about. The rest of their deck doesn't matter to me, and we're working Vraska up here 2 at a time. If they want to keep poking this, that's fine. Go for it. Have at it. Field on his fetch and then lose my field. I could do that. What does that gain me? My opponent just fetches in response, and that stone rains me, and they just sit there happily. I don't know what that gains me. I do like fielding their stomping grounds, but I don't know what fielding this gets me. All right. New Tarmogoyf. Hey, thank you for the follows. Rob MTG and Kev Bell. Turns off push, but they have a dismember. They're saving this dismember for questing beasts. Like that's like guaranteed. I'm gonna put the swamp down. At this point, I could kill this Swift Spear. This puts it in bolt range. I think I'm gonna go up again. I'm gonna hold on to my forest in case my opponent has something. There we go. See patience, everyone. Look, this is a -1/-1. That's sweet. All right, now we're looking interesting. All right, I think we wait one more turn here. I know everyone else is like jam creatures, but no. We doing stuff with Vraska. An extra Swift Spear. All right. Hits Vraska for 2 this time. Seems fine. Seems fine. We're drawing 2 a turn. My opponent's drawing 1 a turn. Pretty happy with where we're at. All right, we find a Scavenging Ooze. Interesting. Is it time to just use this on one of these? All right, we're gonna destroy one of these. I'm gonna put a Tarmogoyf down and hold up Veil, I think. I could actually do a Scavenging Ooze. That might be better. Vraska's ult says you get an emblem whenever a creature you control deals combat to a player, they lose. So I think here it's going to be, you know what? Let's go ahead and do Tarmogoyf and just pass. And then next turn, we're going to start flooding the board. We're doing it just one creature here. They're gonna Fatal Push. That's fine. We're gonna let this roll. I'm giving them an opportunity to go after Vraska here by K commanding potentially me for target damage, and then in response, we'll do a Veil to protect. That'll be a K command out of hand. We'll then be doing uptick and then flooding the board with 2 creatures. Well, that wasn't what I expected. Wrenn and 6. So Wrenn and 6 ping down and attack here. Goes up to get a Bloodstained Mire back into hand. Okay. So Vraska doesn't die here, it looks like. We're at a healthy 21. This game's gonna go for a little while. But Vraska sticks around here. There's a good draw. So Lily. Yeah, we can do this. All right. Lily down tick. Make them sacrifice the creature. Yeah, we were looking for a questing base with a Veil backup would be fine. Vraska up. Do I just eat my own Liliana here because they're going to use that with the Wrenn and 6? Might be just eat my own Liliana. I'm going to do that. All right, land's really nice here because now I can do Questing Beast and have Veil back up. We won't pick off the Wrenn and 6 necessarily, but we're close. And I think we're playing this, it may seem slow, but I think it's been played correctly thus far. Green-black control, practically. My opponent shocks in here. The other thing we could do is line up like Skews and Tarmogoyfs. Kind of work our way through this removal that we know about. Brings Vraska. Death Shadows. Now we have a K command. Bonus Death Shadow. All right. Still have that Dismember to grow these. All right, let's see what we got off the top. Another Blooming Marsh. So that can turn into just a re-cantrip here, so let's do that. This can only go up. All right, Assassin's Trophy. The problem is the Dismember in their hand with Questing Beast. We can protect, but what does that get me? Doesn't really get me a whole lot here. All right, we'll play Tarmogoyf here, and yeah, just have Veil and Assassin's Trophy available to us. I'm really tempted to just Assassin's Trophy the Wrenn and 6 before it picks up. But I could also Assassin's Trophy a Death Shadow here and keep Vraska to be able to pick something off. So we're just going to hang tight here. So the Fatal Push goes off here. So this is where I need a Veil. Because we have Dismember and K command. Dismember does not get rid of the Goyf. So I think we'll Veil here. Cool. And now I have Assassin's Trophy to kill one of these, and Goyf can block. Dismember grows one. They try to kill this. I kill this, and then I use the down tick to kill this, and then Questing Beast in. That's got to be the line. Top deck a land and put Dark Confidant in, because I'm sitting at 23 life. Meanwhile, Scourge is just hanging out being like, why am I so tiny? You're shrinking me. Let's stay Mire here. This always makes things really fun with Death Shadows. And replays it. So we know 2 of the cards. They do not have Luris in hand just yet, even though we're holding Luris there. Scavenging Ooze is hopefully also here to clean up some of the graveyard here with the creatures we're about to kill, so that we don't have to deal with Luris bringing them back. Be ideal. As long as Luris is not in hand, though, it's 6 mana to get it into play immediately. Looking good, looking good. All right, combat away. All right, I want to keep this alive, so we'll block once. My opponent's going to interact right now, because otherwise they don't kill Vraska. And if they allow damage to happen, things get really weird. So they kill Tarmogoyf. In response to this, we'll Assassin's Trophy the other one. Dismember gone. K command and an unknown card, a couple unknowns. If we had a follow-up Veil, it's very possible we would have been able to trade here. This is looking super good because this, then down tick in here. Now my opponent could K command this, picking up this Death Shadow that we're killing, and then replay it. So that's the only maybe downfall here, in which case I'll need to go up probably with this to go find Fatal Push or something to kill the replayed Death Shadow. We might be playing Scoos, we'll see. Opponent fetches here. Doesn't really turn on anything that I'm worried about, like Fatal Push. They didn't shock in here, so now the K command and picking that up and replaying it's not an option, which feels like a win for us. What else we got going on here? So they do K command and we discard. Well, we're probably just discarding Scourge, right? It's just not, it's not useful. It's a negative negative. All right. So we don't know what's going on in their hand. It's completely empty for us. That being said, Questing Beast is looking pretty delicious. What else we got going on here? So Questing Beast kills Ren and 6 and puts them to 2. I kind of like that. You can kill with Teamer Battle Rage. Let's float this green mana and see what else we get here. Removal would be nice. Just like that. Who's ready for some sweet magic? Get out of here. I'm gonna attack them. Blow this up. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Down to 2. Ren and 6 is dead. 2 unknown cards. Luris in the companion slot still. See? Alright. 4 minutes on the clock, opponent. It's been a good back and forth. We have good follow-ups here with Scavenging and Dark Confidant. Not to mention Vraska can help draw as well if we want. What do you have? Questing Beast is also probably difficult to kill. League of Magic, thank you for the raid. Party of 60. Oh, welcome everyone. Playing some rock tonight. Getting a lot of raids. Thank you everyone. Hope you're enjoying yourselves here. Ooh, look at them follows. Alright. Fetching with Verdant Catacombs here. Bloodstain Mire sideways. Do we have a way to pick this off with Fatal Push? Power Rangers. Hey, thank you for the follow. They did. Fatal Push. They got us. Ooh, lots of people. 208 people is our new norm? It's just Friday things. Just Friday things. Alright, so... what is Luris gonna get back here? My opponent's at 1, and I have no way to, like, just tickle them for 1 damage here. This Murderous Rider's super important, though, along with this Vraska. All bots. Thanks, Uncle DB. I think it's play 2 creatures, even though Scavenging Ooze won't be able to eat something, because I'm going to use Vraska down tick on something, and then I'll use Murderous Rider to clear the way. So they'll need to play Luris, creature, and a removal spell. So it's asking my opponent for quite a few things. Let's see if we get lucky here. They need just a few things. Just a few. And if they're putting, let's see here, Luris is in hand. Alright, so they didn't find it. Take our 1 draw here, Treetop Village. But really, whatever they do, Luris, I can kill Luris with Vraska. And if they play like Death Shadow off the Luris, then I can Murderous Rider that. Then they'd have 2 cards left, and so they'd have to be removal and removal. So yeah, they would need pretty perfect information there. Meldrick, hello. What a mess of a game. I think it was a good game. Solid, value, grindy matchup. It's what Rock wants to do. Your head hurts just watching it? Like we talked about earlier, for some reason I just find this super calming. It's like a giant puzzle that happens. We already had Storm raid us, right? CWS. So getting that raid in there, that's like a puzzle. I don't know what Lego is playing, but maybe Lego is playing something puzzle-like. You know, maybe it's just puzzle stream tonight. Iceman, that's right. We would have the Planeswalker. You're correct. Well, I'd have the Planeswalker for a turn, right? Because then that Death Shadow would be there. It is just weird hours for me. I guess I'm more YouTube. Have I played versus Tron yet? That was the first matchup, yes. Classic slow dance. Blood Chiefs. Yeah. Alright. +1/+1's our opponent. Match 4 here. Currently 2-1. Rockin' the rock. Rockin' the rock. Oh boy. Alright, so 5 lands here. 5 lands and an interactive spell and a nice value engine. I'm on the draw. You like Delver because it's Jund? Grixis Delver is probably the closest thing to a Jund, I would think. How's the Skyclave been doing? It was awful last game, but the game before that, it did some work. Did some work. I think I have to mulligan this. This is an unknown opponent, not really sure what they're playing. Just having an Abrupt Decay just feels kind of bad. Tireless Tracker's a 1-of in the deck. I think I can do better than this. Yeah, Scourge was tiny. This is oh yeah. Keep. We'll hold on to Scavenging Ooze just to have a diversification. I kind of like this art a little bit better, so we'll get rid of that Dark Confidant. Done. Colon, parenthesis. Alright, Arid Mesa, huh? Alright, well. Don't care about burn. Let's see what's going on, opponent. Oh, a Heliod combo. Okay. Well, take the Heliod. I can't really work with that. I can beat Luminarch and Walking Ballista. This is the one with Auriok Champion, so Liliana is going to be important to find for that. We'll see how it all pans out. Windswept Teeth for our opponent, fetching. Finds themselves at basic planes, and I assume Luminarch. Luminarch in play. Alright, so we got a 2/2 here. We have a 1/1 Walking Ballista showing up next, probably. Of the creatures I have here, I think Scavenging Ooze is the most beneficial. I hate playing having the Dark Confidant. They just do Luminarch 1 over on Walking Ballista and lose the Dark Confidant. So I think I have to just play like Grim Flayer here over Scavenging Ooze and then play into Liliana downtick. Why did this scroll pause? What do you mean you like the non-OG art better? I don't know. This guy looks very mean. There's just something I like about Dark Confidant's hair in this one. It feels very Dark Confidant-like. I don't know. Bait the 1/1 Ballista, but it's going to become a 2/2. What? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. See, it's a 1/1, now it's becoming a 2/2, right? Now it's a 2/2. Alright. Got a Tarmogoyf here. We have a Liliana. I have a Luminarch that's going to continuously grow one of these. Land fetch. Liliana downtick. They get rid of Luminarch possibly because this is their combo. Attack with Grimflare, they don't block. I'll have land sorcery, and then I get to pick what's the next card, looking for removal for this. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. Get a little more green for the future. So Lily, downtick, Luminarch, killed. Hang on to that Walking Ballista for forever. It's almost useless to not attack here because my opponent can just ping Liliana. Not to mention that if they have nothing else going on, they'll just pump Walking Ballista, so in for 2. That way I get some selection here. Looking for removal pieces. Cool. All right, I want that Fatal Push. I don't want the Hexdrinker. Trying to decide if I want this land or not. Probably don't need it. I'm probably playing Fatal Push plus a creature next turn. Might be just Dark Confidant. Let's get rid of the Forest as well, and we'll hang on to this Fatal Push. Alright, Grimflayer doing what it needed to. Bob is greater than Skrillex. I can have my opinions. They may be incorrect. That's why you're all here to watch, right? Horizon Canopy. And what else we got here? Luminarch. Gonna make this a 3/3. 3/3. Attack me. Ping this for 1. Goodbye, Liliana. Decides to double ping Grimflayer and hit Liliana for 1. Interesting set of lines here. Alright, Fatal Push the Walking Ballista and Dark Confidant this turn, I think. I need to draw a little more interaction, I think, out of my opponent. And then we'll get Tarmogoyf down next turn. That's a big 7/8. Cantrips their Horizon Canopy. My opponent knows they need to win this game soon, or we'll take it over from them. Prismatic Vista played and 3 cards that are unknown. Down to 15. Collect a company? It's 4 mana. Walking Ballista number 2. Dang it. Dang it. Now Walking Ballista is a 3/3. Dang it. Attack for 1. Pings me. I was like, I'll block. I'll block. Alright, now it looks like I'm playing Tarmogoyf next. Yeah. We'll wait on Scavenging Ooze here. I really kind of don't want to eat things. But we'll just put the giant 7/8 in. Plan to start attacking. Need to worry about a Heliod here. If they get a Heliod, I got 1 chance to find a Fatal Push, unless they have a land drop as well. Collect company. Looking 6 deep for Heliod. I do have a turn now because they're tapped out. Fingers crossed. I wonder if I'm supposed to go ahead and search with this peatland. Take the draw. Taking the draw gives me one more deeper here to find a removal spell. Let's see what they hit. What do you hit, opponent? Auriok Champion, and there's Heliod, okay. So I do need to use this peatland. Why is this GG? What? I have 2 draws here to find an out. Play to our outs. That's not one of them. That's not one of them either. Let's go combat, see what they do. They're just like, sure, I'll go to negative whatever. Dark Confidant. Alright, we're just going to concede. My opponent's got it. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Alright. Legion's End isn't too bad here. Plague Engineer's not bad against Auriok Champion. This is just removing... I mean, permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible. That's not bad. Not sure. I mean, that gives me a way to interact with Heliod, which is kind of an important thing. If I can kill it, it'd be nice. Blood Chiefs is okay in this matchup. Maybe this Assassin's Trophy. So what isn't working for us here? Scavenging News is not necessarily that important in this matchup. Grimflayer was kind of cute, but I think we could pull that out. Maybe Brutality, although they have ways for that other half of Brutality to work. You don't like Hexdrinker just because it's just you have to put so much into it. I mean, we could see that, like keep Grimflayer here, maybe, or Scavenging News, one or the other here, and just look towards these. Last Hope looks good. So this kills Luminarch, and that's about it. All right, I like Legion's Plague, Shadow Spear, and Blood Chiefs. I want to try the Shadow Spear. It interests me. It's been interesting me. Vraska seems okay. Questing Beast is a nice way to finish the game. I could actually see the Scourge not being very good. My opponent has the ability to gain a bunch of life and just bring in the other Assassin's Trophy. I could see that over some of the stuff that's been suggested and keep my Collective Brutality. I don't know if I want another Collective Brutality or not. Probably not. All right, we're going to submit. My opponent noted that they need to step away for a few minutes. We'll see if they come back quickly. Opening hand here looks completely fine, so we'll definitely keep this. We can Inquisition away a threat. We have the Abrupt Decay to interact with our opponent. And Dark Confidant to start drawing some stuff. Cool. All right, we'll see when my opponent gets back. Hopefully it's not too long. All right. Looks like our opponent is back. Let's Inquisition them and see what's up. All right, that's Heliod, Conclave, and Illuminarch. We're obviously going to take the Heliod because it's the hardest thing for us to kill. Castle Lochthwain doesn't really show up in any meaningful capacity here. Let's go ahead and Dark Confidant. Hopefully we'll get to hit this Questing Beast on curve. It'll be nice. Twitch is broken. It won't let you time yourself out. Uh-oh. Darn. Can I smell what the rock is cooking? What's the rock cooking? Luminarch should be played first, I assume. Maybe Conclave. I would think you'd play Luminarch first, even though you don't get as much value. There you go. Conclave played. Dark Confidant trigger. Legion's End and a Liliana here. Well, what do we want to do here? Probably just a Liliana, right? Liliana down tick. And then attack with Dark Confidant here. Then I will hopefully have Abrupt Decay and Legion's End. That seems decent. That seems decent, right? Yeah. Yeah. Extra planes played here. Skyclave, alright. Alright, Skyclave. Takes Dark Confidant. We do hit, so we could play Questing Beast here. Could play Vraska as well. What do we think? Uptick. Vraska down on this. Get a 2-2. Luminarch and an Unknown. Is Questing Beast any good? I like Legion Ends getting out of here. Even though Legion Ends could technically get rid of Heliod, I like this and Vraska down on here. I like leaving myself with a Liliana down tick option and Abrupt Decay as ways to remove, and also getting rid of a card in their hand that we're not aware of. Yeah, I think Questing Beast is on the edge of good, is a good way to put it. I would agree with that. We're like not disappointed to play Questing Beast. Perfect example here, and Questing Beast has won a game for us. But the game was close to being won anyway. We just need that like tipping point. All right, new Skyclave here. So there goes Liliana. Now we're gonna get a 3-3 here. I could also just Questing Beast this to earn. There's a Giver as well. Giver's kind of annoying. Well, they're out of cards. So the question here probably becomes, do I just Questing Beast and draw a card and not worry about the Giver for this turn? And then we can down tick Giver and Abrupt Decay. So I'm just upticking here. Go get a basic forest here. We're gonna uptick. Whoops, did a little bit out of order. It didn't punish us though. So Questing Beast here, we'll attack. We're gonna leave these both back, Illusion and the Questing Beast. That way I can use Vraska as a down tick on Giver and then Abrupt Decay on the Skyclave if I want to, and then we'll be representing 8 damage, so it'll be a 2-turn clock. I'm not sure they can draw things in the next 2 turns here that will get them out of this. There you go, Thoughtseize. Cool, all right. So we're going to sideboard again, and I'm not sure there's any changes. Maybe Liliana Last Hope, now that we saw Giver. They play Luminarch, though. Luminarch grows too quickly. Giver would be okay. A small Walking Ballista wouldn't be bad, but I doubt they would play a small Walking Ballista. Probably a Conclave. I think Vraska does enough for us. Maybe Liliana's better than a Tireless Tracker. That one could be a maybe. Lily does seem a little bit bad on the draw, but what's a Tireless Tracker really doing for me? I suppose it converts any land into a redraw, which is maybe okay. You liked pitching Questing Beast there? I think we needed a way to close the game, and instead of keeping 2 removals when my opponent was losing a card in hand, I think it was fine to play the Questing Beast. That way you can start closing the game. The longer that our opponent had to draw out, I think the better chance they win that game. Maybe we just don't change anything. That might be correct. We'll just send it back. Alright, so we have a Thoughtseize here. There's QB. No interaction like Fatal Pushes, Inquisitions, and stuff like that. Or sorry, Fatal Pushes and Assassin's Trophies. My opponent keeps all 7. We don't even have really Liliana on turn 3 properly. This one's probably worth a mulligan. Try again. Alright, now we have a 1-lander. Inquisition, 2 Dark Confidants. We did find that Abrupt Decay. Questing Beast is asking us to play it. It's guaranteed Liliana. You just play the Tireless, you play the Treetop first. We had 3 mana, it's just you gotta play it out of order. This hand doesn't feel very good either. I think I'm gonna mulligan one more time. Alright, this hand can do. We'll keep this, we'll get rid of Vraska, we'll get rid of a field here. Double Inquisition and then an Abrupt Decay to interact with whatever they play. Whew, Avacyn's Pilgrim. Nice. And a Fatal Push. Alright, I'm gonna Fatal Push this because then I got double Inquisition. I'm afraid that if I don't, they have 2 Heliod's. That just gets super awkward. Oops. Let's make sure we use our Inquisitions. Heliod number 1. And Skyclave number 2. Alright, we have double Coco to beat. That's gonna be a problem. Auriok Champion. Needed our 3rd land. We do miss it. Decided to keep Abrupt Decay. This isn't looking very good. Alright, I think I have to leave up interaction here, unfortunately. Bolt the bird, exactly. First time catching the stream, I'm a huge fan of the videos. I watch them before work at 4 a.m. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and watching those videos. It is very much appreciated. And welcome to the live stream. Hope you're also enjoying it. Hopefully it's not too late wherever you may be. Things are going to change a little bit in 2021. The Ranger Captain and a Giver. Jeez. Crackers. Ranger's gonna go get Heliod or Walking Ballista. I'm going to Fatal Push Giver Runes here. This is so frustrating here. So they get a Walking Ballista. I suppose that makes sense because they can put a Walking Ballista on 2. Luckily, I can kill it with the Abrupt Decay. We're not in the worst spot. Wonder if they collect a company or they do. Oh, all right, collect a company first. So we know about Walking Ballista. There's Heliod. All right, we're doing everything. All right, so here my opponent's pretty good to kill us. Extra Ranger. Wow. Uh-oh. I don't think we have a chance. Land drop, Plague Engineer, naming Construct instead of Human to get rid of this. And then just die by 3/3s. Because now this is a 3/3 and I can't get rid of this. I'm dying in 4 turns anyway. Well, this isn't good. This is game 3. Isn't it? Pretty sure this is game 3. All right, I'm gonna just pass to my opponent and just see what else they want to do. Yeah, this is game 3. Land. If I had a blocker, it'd be blocking Heliod here. Just abrupt decay this. This needs 7, right? No, it's 5. I'm still dead. All right, we're 2-2 overall. Oh, that was pretty brutal. A bunch of the Rangers definitely very brutal, especially since we try to interact with our opponent by killing things. And I needed to kill the Giver, I think, because if not, then they're just going to be able to protect whatever. And that's just not going to work very well for us either. It's pretty interesting. There's no in-game way to tell what game number you're in currently. When you're in game, you can go back out to the league details, and I believe that'll show you. We'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's how you do it. Yeah, and the chat will tell you as well. I just don't have chat open. Well, I have chat open, I just have it off screen. But yeah, there are ways to see what game you're on. It's just maybe in your best interest to try to be like, yeah, I got this. You just have to look through chat and everything. All right, opening hand. This is all right. So like if we were to do this, it won't show it, but I think once we finish the first game, it should show it. Chat can't see us riot. I'm gonna keep this hand. It's a little more open-ended than we've had for the last few. Opponents first. Let's go, Snaky. Lotus Cobra opponent. I can watch you, Zale. You wanted to be timed out, right? That's what you were saying earlier? That's what you were saying earlier? All right, not a whole lot for us to do here on turn 1, but we've got a good couple options here on turn 2. Top deck the land as well. The deck doesn't seem to have any problems getting to 3 mana. That is always a positive. Godless Shrine. Opponent's probably got those fatal pushes and paths. We'll see what we're up against here. Only momentarily. God Golden GG, thank you for the follow. Inquisition. All right, what do you want? What do you want? How close are we to 3,000? I can't read the screen is so tiny on my little like pop-up. I can't read it, but we got to be getting close, right? 2963 is what it looks like, but it's just a blur. Really, it's just a blur. All right, what are we playing first? What do my opponent's missed here. I'm gonna play Tarmogoyf first. Tarmogoyf first, it's Fatal Push or Path, that's fine. Scavenging Ooze could get rid of Lingering Souls, which is maybe the only thing that I'm worried about right now, being that they're white and black. How does unfollowing and following then work? It'll go down and then it'll go back up, but it won't do it in the session. So you'd have to unfollow, then come back and hope no one else followed, and then you could refollow, and then it just goes down and up. Like if I look at my total followers, I've got like almost 4,000, but they're not all still followers. Some went away. They didn't like us. They didn't like us, so they ran away. Fatal pushing on Tarmogoyf here. I'm gonna just play Scavenging Ooze. I don't particularly care about eating something here. I'm gonna disguise the Verdant Catacombs so they don't think I have Questing Beast here. Maybe that'll stop them from fatal pushing, or sorry, pathing this. 2 mana this time. What do we got here? Black-white control? Flagstones is an interesting one. Silent Clearing. Smallpox? 3 mana. Lingering Souls? Liliana? Something else? Hey, smallpox, I called him. All right, I can get rid of this abrupt decay. I think there's the lingering souls. I could see a questing beast being valuable here in the future. They do, but they don't know about verdant catacombs, you see. Trying to hide that I can cast the questing beast. All right. Now it's not as hidden. Not as hidden. Deciding to play Overgrown Tomb here instead of the swamp. Is questing be standard? Oh, EC was responding to Zale. You called every card in Magic doesn't count. All right, goodbye, QB. Nice having you. That hiding might backfire. I don't think it's changed anything so far. Lingering souls. All right, just continue on our way. Got a lot of lingering souls to get through. They got the infinite value from their smallpox. Yeah, they put a lingering souls into the yard. They blew up the land, which was the flagstones. They did it all. This was like black-white smallpox tokens, which is actually probably our worst nightmare, if I'm really honest. Because I don't do well with lots of little tokens. Don't do well getting hit 6 a turn here. Red-white tokens when? Alright, I'll abrupt decay one of these. I'll bite. I'll take 5. Plague Engineer's over here. Ooh, Bloodghast. Love it. But yeah, that's my one in few ways. I don't have like a damnation in the sideboard. Lingering Souls is surprisingly brutal and a fair matchup. Definitely can be. All right, I think I'm cool with the Murderous Rider being played here. So Swift End. Let's take care of a flying creature here. Hope they don't have a push or a path. And then replay Swift End or the Murderous Rider on the other side. Just hoping they don't pick off their own here. This will gain me a little bit of life. 4 creatures in the air. I can block Bloodghast. We'll see. Yep, Spirit. Vampire one. A lot of spirits. Cantrips is silent clearing. It's really funny to run into lists like this when you play a specific deck that you just don't normally play. What I mean by that is we play a lot of Red Prison, we play a lot of other things that are dealing with, you know, masses of creatures and stuff. And then we play one that's spot removal. Bam. We get the token strategy. You can do your double black here. Play Sorin. Play Sorin. I believe in you. Not Gideon, Sorin. Oh, that works too. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going to 3. And I could draw 1 spot removal. We'll concede there. There's no card I can draw. Ta-da! Okay, so Collective Brutality feels decent here. Plague Engineer, Liliana. Ashiok's a maybe. Ashiok is a maybe. Fatal pushes feel really weird. Like, I'd probably keep a pair or so, but they just feel really awful. Has to do Assassin's Trophies. I think I'm gonna do something like this. I'm wondering if I should bring in Veils instead of like a Fatal Push. Or maybe instead of like a pair of thought seizes here, just being on the play and then like switch it out. Bring in Shadow Spear for life gain. I really have never gotten much value out of Veil when I do play it. We can do 2 Veils over 2 Thought Seizes here, and then Shadow Spear in over like this last Fatal Push possibly. I feel like a 1-of Fatal Push is probably not terrible. Take the Scourge out. Scourge is going to be a problem, I think. My life total is probably going to be really high or getting chunked really fast. Let's play first. All right, well, Inquisition, QB, Treetop. All right, QB gets through. Inquisition can protect the hand by taking something here. Treetop's not looking that bad. We'll run it. It's going to be a tough matchup anyway. My opponent has little creatures. The littlest of creatures. Alright, what do we got here? A couple Fatal Pushes, an Inquisition, and a Skyclave. What's that? Blood Chief's up there. But Blood Chiefs needs 4 mana to really kill QB, which will probably happen. Fatal Pushes are likely to kill QB as well. Maybe it's just Skyclave here. I guess Skyclave's not really castable right now. I could do Inquisition to protect the Shadow Spear. So I lose Shadow Spear here, or I have to deal with a lot of removal. I guess I'll go ahead and protect the Shadow Spear. With the cards they have, they can't currently get to Questing Beast. It's probably going to happen, but you know. All right, Shadow Spear down, let's go. You take the Blood Chief's Thirst there instead of the Inquisition and just ditch the Shadow Spear. Now I have black mana. Bloodghast. All right, yeah, we'll just hang tight here, I guess, with the Murderous Rider. See if my opponent has another land here. We'll kill at end step. I don't know, Thirst is a little ways away. I don't think I'm as worried about it. There's a Flagstones. And they have a Liliana. Look at how brilliant this is. Look at how brilliant this is. Swift End, the Liliana here. I can ditch the Verdant Catacombs, no problems. Yep, don't even have to crack the fetch, and I don't plan to. Get rid of that Verdant Catacombs. Get out of here. Vraska's an interesting one here. We are aware that that Blood Chief's Thirst is there. There's a few things I could do. I could put Murderous Rider down and hook up the Shadow Spear here. And if I do that, maybe they go, oh, I need to use this and kill. That's maybe a thing we could do. It's not a bad idea. And then use Vraska a little bit more effectively next turn with killing maybe Skyclave or something else. Or just throwing Questing Beast in after they've used the Chief's Thirst. Well played. We're trying. I like the Rider idea as well here. And oh, equipping is 2. My bad. Thought it was 1. The 1 is the ability. That being said, I'm still pretty happy with just this to bait out one of the removal spells here. I'm not disappointed. I thought this was 1. I saw the 1 down here. Little tiny 1. Oh, nice. All right, so they They actually kind of get everything here. They use flagstones here. They're going to get double. They have fatal pushes and Skyclave here. They really have kind of everything. We've used one fatal push, by the way. No, we ditched a fatal push. Skyclave. The ditched fatal push is from earlier. Okay. So now it's Vraska, down tick on this, have a blocker, and wait for them to use Blood Chiefs, and then Questing Beast in. Even with this pickup here. It's Vraska kill. They might fatal push, which is fine. And then we'll lose Liliana to maybe get rid of this last card. Because now they'll use the fatal push on a token, and I'm pretty happy with just a fatal push on a token. So this is still working all out for us. You've missed everything. We went 30-0. We're champions of the league. MTGO basically came online, was like, we need to give you an award. You're the best player ever. That's what you missed, Casey. Fatal push on our token. Got Blood Gassed and 2 unknowns here with Blood Chiefs in hand. I'd love to see him just slap down a land. Then I could Liliana the Blood Chief away. You knew it exactly. All right, bye-bye, Vraska. That's fine. Removal, 4 mana removal. All right, no follow-up. So, Lily here, an uptick? We won the Callium Championship too? Exactly. We did it all. We did it all. Alright, Liliana uptick here. Feels pretty decent. Blooming Marsh just gets put away. Questing Beast has been on the chill for a while. Blood Chief not in the hand anymore. A little bit dangerous with the Liliana and knowing that my opponent has Lingering Souls. I like living on the edge. 3 mana, Skyclave. Alright, gets rid of Liliana. Looking good because the Blood Chief's gone as well. Now we have an opening for this Questing Beast to be used, as long as they don't have a Thoughtseize. Opponent attacks us for 2 and puts us to 12. This game's pretty close. Silent Clearing, excellent. Alright, we got a freebie hit with Questing Beast here. In we go. We'll hook it up with Shadow Spear next turn. In for 4. 16-12. We got a nice beefy blocker. They'll cantrip Silent Clearing. They only need 4 mana from what it looks like. Flooding out just a little bit on their side. Pretty even though. We were at 5 lands as well. We pitched our Blooming Marsh. All right. Inquisition. All right, takes my Thoughtseize. Totally fine. It's not a removal. They're not removing. That's a good sign. Looks like they're not attacking either. If they attack with Bloodghast or Skyclave, I don't think I can block here in fear of Fatal Push. So we'll just let this through. Could be a smart attack anyway and have a land in hand to bring it back, but I'm afraid of... There we go. Just a Marsh Flats, but I was afraid of several things there. All right, got a Hexdrinker. So Hexdrinker in, it's equipped to Questing Beast here. Let's pump once and hit for 5, trample and lifelink. Now this has lifelink, trample, vigilance, death touch, haste, can't be blocked, combat, damage, not prevented, everything. Uh-oh. New Skyclave, all right. New Skyclave takes our Questing Beast. Poor thing. A 3-headed Soup Beast. Opponent attacks me for 4, gotta let it go. Here we got a Hexdrinker, we wanna make that beefier. Land? Lily. Lily, huh? What does Lily do? Down tick and they just go, yeah, that's cool. Fetch. Looks like I'm just pumping Hexdrinker a whole bunch here and swinging. I guess I can make it a 4/4 and attach. Then if I top deck a land, it can become the 7/7. And now it has protection from instants and sorceries. Yeah, this seems good. In for 5. If they block, I get a sweet 4/4. By attacking for 5 lifelink, I'm undoing 2 of their creatures. Spear will drop if I level up. I'm kind of okay with that because then that means I win. Liliana for my opponent, the perfect draw. A land there would be lethal because of the Hexdrinker. Now we do have Treetop. Things get interesting here. See how my opponent would like to attack. Ooh. Oh. For 4. Interesting. I might just boot up Treetop and smack the Liliana here. Again, our Liliana is pretty useless because they just sacrifice Bloodghast. Huh. Interesting. I could pick Hexdrinker back up. Replay it. They uptick. I lose Liliana. How to bring a snake back, 101. Or I can use Treetop Village to attack Liliana and kill it. If I do that, I'm taking 6. If I attack them, they're going to either 3 or 5. Might be smarter to just swing his face with the Treetop Village because that's safe from the Liliana. Next turn, they can't full attack, and they will have to block. That's true, and it does give us a token, but at that point, then Liliana will be at 2, right? So Liliana would be at 2, and then Liliana can just downtick to remove the token. I'll go ahead and attack because they're very close, and we do have, you know, the ability to draw a land and maybe hook up Shadow Spear to our Treetop Village and swing for 4. Yeah, 4. And that lifelink might matter here. Let's see. Bloodghast can't block, so let's keep that in mind. Liliana going up here. I think it's just got to be this Liliana we get rid of. Because I think Liliana Last Hope is just better with the option of a snake here. Thoughtseize is ditched here. They attack for 2. Wonder if I shock here. Shock, Treetop, hook up. If I shock and do that, I gain 2. Instead, I go to 12. That's probably okay. And then if they double block, that would kill. But if they do that, if they do double block, then I kill. Probably have to threaten to kill, right? We attack like this because, yes, we'll lose our Liliana if they go up here, but if they go down to remove something and then shoot it with, like, say, a Fatal Push, we're in a really good spot. Blocking with 1 could be an interesting line here for my opponent. Treetop Village is definitely putting in work this matchup, making it hard to remove. This is going to give us a 3-3. All right, so we get 2 tokens here. We do lose our treetop. We get a 4-4 and a 3-3, which isn't bad. And then if they would decide, oh, they want to keep their Liliana for whatever reason, I can get rid of an X1 creature with the Liliana Last Hope. All right, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. Sideboard we go. We know they have quite a few Planeswalkers. Maybe a Blood Chiefs is worth it over the Fatal Push. It was a good line. Also, Shadow Spear did some work there. That lifelink did matter quite a bit. Ashiok is to get rid of the Lingering Souls. Whether that's smart or not, I don't know. It feels like it's important, though. That's why I don't bring all 3 in, and a faster Ashiok could stop flagstones and other things being beneficial from a smallpox. You don't like it? What would you... I guess at this point I could also bring in 2 Thoughtseizes now. I could bring in a Legion's End to get rid of the Bloodghasts. That's fair. That's fair. Are we looking at them bringing back... We'll take Legion's End and something else. Laughing at Ashiok. Laughing. You want to just draw a card? Maybe I bring back a Fatal Push. We'll try Fatal Push. I still don't like Fatal Push that much here, but we'll see. Hand is decent. No real good removal, though. Questing Beast is showing up again. Vraska did a lot last time. Don't mind a Collective Brutality here. Let's keep. This may be a looser keep. Swamp Inquisition. Steel Tireless Tracker or the Shadow Spear. Goodbye, Shadow Spear. We hardly knew thee. Alright, we topped out a Grim Flare. It's not bad, it has trample. A little filtering wouldn't be a bad thing either. I wonder how much removal they have. Alright, KC, take care. Ooh, not a bad draw. Not a bad draw. Alright, so what do we got? Like Liliana showing up next turn? Do I want to play this Grim Flare out? Do I just put the Collective Brutality out here? Stealing something? Like a removal spell? Skyclave's kind of annoying as well. I think I just play Grim Flare here and just eat it if it's a Liliana, but if it's like Skyclave, then I have Collective Brutality to 2 mode if I wanted. My opponent appears to have F6'd here. This feels... I don't think there's really another option. Let's put it that way. Skyclave's meh. Liliana's meh. If I'm doing a Collective Brutality, I've got to hope that they don't just have Lingering Souls where they get the other half of it. Collective Brutality can be used as a removal, so I'm kind of happy with that. Be interesting to see my opponent just not do anything here. Missing a land drop, missing Urborg, missing Smallpox, getting my chance to get in with Grimflare. We haven't seen any path to exile. So far, no path. Main phase. They had stopped on their upkeep briefly. It's a nice place to stop. Godless Shrine, Shoxodon. We got all kinds of colors here. It looks like Liliana. Smallpox Floating White. Now we're in trouble. Now we're in trouble. Am I just getting rid of Vraska or Questing Beast here? Let's probably just get rid of Vraska because I'm not going to be able to cast her for forever. This is super painful for us, losing a land here. They ditched another Flagstones, it looks like. Still floating this white mana. Alright, we do hit a land, which is super good and super important for us. Not going to fire off Collective Brutality just yet. Extra land for our opponent. Nothing. Interesting. Alright, we find a bonus Collective Brutality. Let's go ahead and take a peek at what's going on over there. I know there's only 3 cards. It was a Blood Chiefs, Fetid Heath, and a Skyclave. Alright. Reasonable cards. Happy to take the Blood Chiefs. Opponent draws, Fetid Heath down, Skyclave and some unknown cards, Maze Mind Tome. Really could use this Tireless Tracker. Alright. Go ahead and Scavenging Ooze. Just need to get the Skyclave out of their hand. They'll draw with Maze Mind Tome. Maze Mind Tome is going to make this game really hard for us because my opponent's just going to get to draw 3-4 cards. They have plenty of mana pretty much to do this as well. Opponent decides to scry instead. I disagree with that. I think they should be drawing. We've been playing enough of this card, Maze Mind Tome, that if you can, just take the draw. Even if it's a land, that's fine. The scry doesn't really benefit you too much here. Especially since they didn't use that mana. And they put the card to the top. So Shambling Vent here. See the Skyclave. Or do we have a Fatal Push? Fatal Push. So Skyclave's the only thing they have in hand. Treetop Village. Comes in play tapped. Go ahead. So luckily I have Field of Room for the Shambling Vent. I guess they kept the Fatal Push? Draws with Maze Mind Tome this time around. Okay. Thoughtseize. Pretty good. Pretty good. Could just take Tireless Tracker here. Might just take Questing Beast too. If I top deck a land, Tireless Tracker at least gets me a draw. Maybe something they'll consider here with this Thoughtseize. Opponent's learning fast. Yeah, to draw with Maze Mind Tome. Yep, they're learning. Tireless Tracker hits the bin here. Skyclave unknown card. Three mana. Boots up Shambling Vent. Alright. Interesting turn here to do this. Alright, Plague Engineer. We want to keep this around, so we're just going to go ahead and pass the turn. We'll use Field on the Shambling Vent here. Turning off my yields here to see where the scry goes. If it goes to the top, I'll make them shuffle. And it did. We need what appears to be a little more black mana. Alright, so they lose their scry there, which is good for us. Hopefully Plague Engineer doesn't get taken from us. There's a Liliana. Alright, I think Collective Brutality is just going to have to go. Need a land drop here, but if not, we at least have Treetop to hit the Liliana. Marsh Flats, so Skyclave's the last card in hand. They're keeping Skyclave for Questing Beast, obviously. This is a sweet draw. I'm gonna stop on their... Let's stop on their upkeep here. See what they do with this Maze Mind. If they draw with it, then I'll just in response. That works too. I don't think they have anything that would protect this. All right. You like Rider in response to Lily up? Then I'm losing another card. Why would you wait that long? Oh, a Bitter Blossom. Oh, snap. I guess why would you wait to then lose another card there? All right, Bitter Blossom is what we've got to beat. I've put the Murderous Rider into play. We have a Legion's End, which is interesting because Legion's End could get rid of a bunch of the Fairy Rogues at some point in the game. My opponent's obviously taken my Plague Engineer. Not that I would have named Fairy. At this point, I would have named Spirits. We'll see what my opponent wants to do here. Hexdrinker's looking pretty decent. And Legion's End can create a 3/3 if Skyclave hits this. You would gladly trade one for theirs? I wouldn't have this like Legion's End then. Alright, so I can Hexdrinker or I can Questing Beast. I'm getting hit for 3. You're right, it can't hit the Skyclave, so it's just gonna hit these. You're correct. 2, not 3. Let's go ahead and Questing Beast here and get in. We're racing our opponent at this point. New Google TV has pretty good Twitch app. Could never cast Twitch to my TV before without it being super choppy. I'm on the big screen. All right, opponent attacks for 1 here. I think Hexdrinker actually could win this game. Let's beef up the Hexdrinker here. This also gives me another protection from a Liliana. Attacking for 4 puts it in 11, then 10. Bitter Blossom trigger here. If I happen to get Liliana down, get Liliana down tick and Legion's End. Legion's End's the fairy tokens and down tick here. If I hit a land as well, I can also put this up to 7. That's a 7/7. And that would be 11, and that would be lethal. Bloodghast, what else do you have, opponent? So land here gives me dealer's choice on how I want to win. They have a removal for this, I'm in a bit of trouble. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like they're F6 here. Just put this up and 10 them. I don't think I have to activate there. I have now a Hexdrinker that's protection from everything and a and a Questing Beast here. The other option there is Legion's End, the fairy tokens, and Liliana maybe down tick on something. They'll get rid of the Bloodghast then. You attack for 4, that puts them to 6. And you have a 4/4 as well, right? They have to block or they die. No, this would be a 4/4. So then they block and now you have a 3/3 as well. And then they go to 5. I think we're good. 3/2. Rock. 3-2 with the Rock. Questing Beast was solid, and actually against a token strategy there at the end, it was really nice to have. Vraska proved to be pretty decent as well. I like this top end on this Rock list. It's pretty powerful. I personally would have an extra Plague Engineer in the sideboard based on what we saw, and I might move the Blood Chief's Thirst in for the Fatal Push and just open that one slot up. Shadow Spear was pretty sweet as well. I think I'm pretty happy in general with the Rock list. It did pretty well. 3-2 feels like a very Rock record. Yes. Stevie B, we punted away game 2 against Hardened Scales. Match 2? Yeah. Match 1 was Tron, match 2 was Hardened Scales. And if I would have realized the weird card I hadn't seen before was a 3-drop instead of a 2, I think we would have had game 1 and had a good chance game 2 and game 3 to beat them. But 3-2 overall with Rock, pretty solid. It stays the course, slams in with the creatures, and the Hexdrinker doing what it needed to. Sweet list.